Recent statistics from the American Psychological Association indicate that 39% of Americans reported that their stress had increased over the past year. Research shows that long-term activation of your body's stress response is going to impair your immune system's ability to fight against disease and increases the risk of physical as well as mental health problems. An approach to dealing with stress includes coping. These are behaviors that attempt to reduce stress by alleviating the problem directly. Avoidance coping includes behaviors that reduce stress by distancing oneself from the problem. A lot of people who cannot handle confrontation will start to shake, they lose control of their voice and pitch, and they want to hit out, and they cannot control their thoughts properly. It could be frustrating when someone is putting us down or when you can't fight back or argue, as you have got a touch of confrontation jitters. This is actually part of your flight or fight response. The best way to manage stress is to learn healthy coping strategies. You can start practicing these tips right away. Try a few of them that work for you and practice them until they become habits that you can turn to when you feel less stress. One such method is to find a confidant, someone that you trust, where you can share your stress, your anxieties, and your frustrations in life. Another coping method is therapy. And if your methods of coping with stress that you currently use are not contributing to your greater emotional and physical health, it's time to find healthier ones. No single method works for everyone in every situation, so be sure to experiment with different techniques and strategies. Focus on what makes you feel calm and control, and be sure to also take an opportunity to speak with a professional. If you look at broad literature that has been done on religious and spiritual beliefs and practices as how they relate to human health, you're going to find that the majority of the studies point to a positive influence when people are religious or spiritual. They tend to have lower levels of stress and anxiety. Additionally, religion or spirituality is positively correlated with coping with stress. Finding alternatives is another way of coping with stress, and stress management tips can really help you drastically reduce these levels and regain control. It's important to experiment and find out what works best for you. And when you decide, be sure that you make some great options and that you also make a list of available opportunities for you. Another simple opportunity or alternative is simply to keep looking for new ones. So everyone has a reaction to anger, and you need to be aware of what your body is telling you, and you need to find ways to calm yourself. Running, walking, swimming, yoga, meditation, some of these are going to really reduce stress. Try to find ways to expel the anger, even if you choose to not confront or to show it. So constantly operating at high levels of stress is what's going to make anger really bubble to the top. And it's going to make one more susceptible to heart disease, diabetes, a weakened immune system, insomnia, and even high blood pressure. Once you begin to recognize the warning signs that your temper is really rising and anticipate your triggers, you're going to be able to act quickly with your anger. Some physical symptoms of stress include low energy, headaches, an upset stomach. That also is going to include some diarrhea or constipation, aches, pains, muscles that are very tense and tight, chest pains, a rapid heartbeat, insomnia, frequent colds and infections, and even a loss of a sexual desire. Scientists have discovered that our bodies are built in a way of dealing with stressful emotions and bad memories that is actually very closely tied to sleeping. It's obviously a necessary human function, and it allows our brains to recharge and our bodies to get some rest. Many reports have suggested that stress increases at length and exponentially when the quality of sleep decreases. When individuals do not get enough sleep, 21% of adults reported feeling more stressed. Exercise can increase your overall health and even a sense of well-being, which actually puts more pep into your day and makes you happier. But exercise also has some direct stress-busting benefits. Physical activity helps to bump up the production of your brain's feel-good neurotransmitters. Those are called endorphins. So watching TV is almost like a reflex. You get home after a tough day, you turn on the TV, you binge watch your favorite show on Netflix or Amazon. Maybe you get lost in somebody else's troubles on TV and you can laugh your way through a sitcom. It's certainly a good way to forget your own worries, isn't it? But it turns out that people who rely on TV or video games to relax actually end up feeling like failures afterwards. Some research has shown that using media can make you more relaxed since it is a momentary escape, but researchers have found that particularly busy and fatigued people actually are going to feel more guilty and more stress because they have spent time in front of the television.